Welcome to the Mommy Crew Talks podcast, where we have real talks and deep conversations with real moms. We will be sharing real life experiences and situations. None of us are perfect mommies, but we support each other. For the mommies that would love to connect with other mommies, please follow our private group on Facebook called The Mommy Crew. Hello, everyone, and you are here for the Mommy Crew Talks podcast, episode 5. And what's our topic today? We want to talk about parenting through this, not through the pandemic, but parenting and education. And we know that, our children had a tough year last year, and that this year we're seeing the consequences of them all being remote last year's with most of the children. I'm a teacher, so are they. So we are seeing a lot of children coming back and kind of basically a year back, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we were just talking about how can we as moms, as parents, help our children out. We have different circumstances, of course, but what do we do for our children to help them through this year to kind of catch up? So I have Mommy Mika with us.
I'm back.
She's back in full effect. And she's my co-host. It's Mommy Jammy's back.
Back.
So ladies, what are we doing about our children in this education and what we are seeing in classrooms? Because we could talk on our educated side, but we can also be moms, like Tamika was talking before. We're going to hear her opinion. But first I'm going to start to say, I teach second grade, so it's difficult for me to see how far back our children really are. And basically they don't have the reading skills. It's like nothing. Like they forgot, even if they got a little bit of kindergarten foundation, because that's probably the last time they've been in school is half of their kindergarten year. Now it's like, ugh. And I just feel like, in my opinion, that the parents that seem very active to me are the ones that are thriving a little more than the others. What do you guys think?
I definitely agree with that. You can always tell the children who get some type of something at home, even if it's not what is taught in school. Is some basics. Like I know from when my kids were little, I started with the workbooks, and when they started that new math, I had no idea what the new math was. But I reached out to the school like, hey, I don't know this new math, and I don't know how to help them at home. What can we do? You know what they did? They did a workshop. And I went in there and I learned that new math so that when my kids were home and they needed my help, I was able to help them. So is it just a question of just the parents willing and asking for the help, or, start back from the basics? Get those 99-cent workbooks from the Dollar Tree
Hello.
and start from there.
But you're bringing it back before the pandemic. Now, it became a whole different ball game once the pandemic hit and it's remote learning. Like us as parents, we are depending on the teachers to teach our children because that is their job. Not every parent can teach their child. I'm a teacher and I cannot teach my own child. So it's not to say that I don't want to be involved or I'm not active, but it's like I gotta work too. Like, and then my child's on the computer all day. I don't know what he's doing. Okay, you're off. All right, come back. Basically back out my face for a second. Let me do my job, and then that's how the year goes. If when we're in person in school, then from 7 to 4 or whatever the time is they're in school that they're learning whatever because they're in class with the teacher. If they're home, they could be doing anything on that computer. They don't have to be listening or anything. No one's holding them accountable or whatever. Yes, there are parents who can sit there right next to their child and make sure that they're learning, keep them on task, but not every parent can do that. And I don't blame parents on what they did or didn't do during the pandemic year because that was a different ball game for everybody.
I get it. I get it. And I agree a little bit, but this is why I don't. I can't. For me, I can't watch my child, especially when they're younger. There's just basic things that you can teach them. You don't have to rely on the teacher for that. You understand? When your child enters kindergarten and they don't know how to recognize A, B, C, D, but they can pull up YouTube videos, that's a problem for me. You understand? So foundation, you can lay, especially I'm not really talking about when they get to like, cause I'm not smarter than the fifth grader. When they get to that work, I'll be like, look, somebody gonna have to help me. But when they in kindergarten and first and second grade, there's basic foundation things that you don't have to be a teacher to teach them that. And if you're not a teacher and you're not that smart, the YouTube video shows them. The same YouTube or same iPad they have all day and looking at crazy stuff is the same one that you can say, look, put it on this and watch that for an hour.
Yeah, there's so much distractions in today's world. It's I'm not even trying to make excuses.
Yes,
and
she
it
is because
sounds
her
like
son
it.
watches YouTube all day.
It's so much distractions. Yeah, I'm gonna put you on this little phonics YouTube video, but if you end up on a Roblox video, I don't know that. Like, I'm not gonna recognize that right away because I'm doing my own thing.
Okay, but
It's
after you get off of
distractions.
work, an hour of your time to devote to say, look, let's sit down and work on your ABCs. I don't find anything wrong with that. Those are foundational things. Like I've heard parents say, oh, I'm not cut out for this. I'm not a teacher. Okay, but why doesn't your child at least know how to recognize letters? I had a child, and because we were hybrid last year, I had a child that didn't even know the ABC song. I thought that was something natural that you teach your children. I
You
thought
know,
A B
as
C
as
D
as no, as time go on, a
is
lot of
fading out. You
it's
think it's
fading
fading
out.
out?
Like nursery rhymes, ABCs, those things are kind of fading out. Like they be having like some teachers or whatever have their own little B, C. They probably don't know the regular original
Okay, they
tune.
don't know that, but they don't know the alphabet at all. You know what I'm saying? So stuff like that, I can't forgive parents for, like miss, like sir,
You can't say you can't
ABC,
forgive them because there's circumstances out there
that they don't know ABCs.
that you don't know why they don't know ABCs.
Okay. I know Johnny comes to me he's 2 years old, and Johnny got a lot of mouth, but Johnny don't know ABCs. That's a problem for me. I'm sorry. I
Well,
just
maybe he has a learning, I don't want to say disability, but maybe something that the mom can't help him let it stick. Like I'm showing you this is B for a whole week, but it's just not sticking. It's not sticking. But I don't know how to help you because this is not my lane. So
okay,
So
but there are
therefore,
other
when do you reach
services,
out? When do
right?
you reach out for that? Because
yeah,
they
you reach it
have
when in school. I'm talking
they
about
have heads.
pandemic time. Like
Well, the pandemic, you can't like. I honestly feel like just all around that a lot of kids were behind before the pandemic, right? And then you threw them in the pandemic, and then boom, they're behind even more. But she's just talking as far as like foundation because most Head Start free programs, free Head Start is free. Whoever didn't know, Head Start is free for anyone who's I think is the max you have to the
Income
max income is
eligibility.
maybe like 40,000, depending on your family size. But if you have a big family, you're in there. Head Start is free. Throw the kid in Head Start for a couple of hours because you don't know how to do it, which is fine. I've had Head Start parents who don't know how to read. That's fine. I'll read the questions to you. Let me know what's happening. I'll give you some resources for you to if you want to learn how to read. But if you don't want that for your
do all
child,
Head Starts teach though, or are they like
well, because
play?
no, they have to teach now.
Okay.
Now they're part of the.
And this conversation can also spill into the fact that I don't know, what are we doing with our children? I just had a brain freeze. Hold on. You
brain
guys can
fart.
talk, right?
Yeah,
It happens.
it happens. It
But
happens, and it happens in us parents
yeah.
when we try to teach our child
No,
that brain
No,
fart,
no.
I
and then you
feel
just
like
need to like.
if you go out there, if you don't know don't know the resources, then I get it. But 301, you call them and say, "Hey, I have a 3-year-old here. I need to find a program for them. I need something that's free." Now they got 3K for all, so you could go to any DOE now. Anybody could go in. It don't matter where you live, don't matter where you work, doesn't matter. They taking your child as long as they have space. So it's just all about that.
Right. So it came back. I'm saying, so even it can go into the conversation of if you know that your child needs help in certain areas, it's okay to find them the proper resources.
Okay.
I know that I've heard parents say, "Well, I don't want them to have that label and stuff like that." But we're doing them a disservice by keep saying, "Well, no, they can go up. Let them go up. Let them go up." And they don't know how to read. You understand? So a lot of parents are ashamed to say, "Well, my child may have a little problem." And right now, these children don't care if Max is 18 in the sixth grade. They don't care. I mean, they might bully him, some of them, but
If
generally
your
people
children are
don't
good
care.
children, they won't.
No, if generally people nowadays people don't care. I've had people that I went to school with that was 18 and they were supposed to be in high school. They graduated from eighth grade with us. I know people like that. I didn't care about that. You know what I'm saying? So I often have to tell parents, it's okay. It's okay if we leave them back another year because they need it. You know what I'm saying? And if they didn't get it the second year, we need to do something else. There has to be other services that they can get, whether it's speech, occupation, whatever is to help the child, let's look for it. So right? We don't know how to teach them. Okay, fine. Who are you looking for? Who's your resources?
All right, I understand that. So if I'm talking about in-person learning, yeah, we still in the pandemic, but in-person learning, everybody's in school, and we our child is having issues that you feel like they're behind, they're struggling. Your child's in school or whatever, or even if since you know you can, if I can't help you or whatever, like you say, find the resources. I write a letter to the teacher. My child did not know what he or she was doing in this math, whatever. Can you please help my child or whatever? Because I can't do it. And honestly, that's what you're getting paid for. So, or send me something where,
Teach them
I
how
can
to
teach
do
them
it.
Right,
or I
figure
can
out.
ask someone to come and teach them because like I said, I don't have the patience to do that with my own child. So yes, find resources. But like I said, devil's advocate, everybody's situation is different. Not everybody kids come home, some kids come don't have their homework done, and it's not the kid's fault.
Right. So who do we blame that on?
Who do we blame them on? We have to know their household. I don't know.
I get the situation. Like, that's what I'm saying. We got to step up as moms. We got to step up as parents. We have to step up because then what happens to the child? Like,
You're
we
right.
don't
But if
care.
I'm going through something mentally and stuff like that, you just don't know what's going on in the household of
I'm
why.
sorry. There's too many free stuff, free things going on. There's too many free services. Let me tell you something, not to be funny. You get paid if your child is a little thing or they need help in some way. I never got that concept, but they pay you because your child needs services. And sometimes the service that they get, they don't have to pay that money that they got. So you understand what I'm saying? There's things around everything. Okay, yes, there's circumstance. Maybe you have 10 children at home and you just can't get this one child to find somewhere. I know I have a principal, she's one of my mentors. She's always said, like, that's why she likes to form after school programs and things like that. Leave them in the after school program. Leave them. Let them finish their homework. Whatever is free out there, let them do it. I know there's children with ADHD and all those type of things that maybe they can't handle. I know some parents that get beat up from their children. Fine. Let's look for other resources. Band together, like let's join the mommy crew. Find somebody in there that can help you. There's resources,
Yeah,
like
but then
ask for help.
like you're saying, like there's resources. I know there's resources. You know there's resources. But maybe that parent just needs to know this, please do this. And then have somebody hold them accountable. Like
which is
Like,
fine. But my
like
thing is
Miss
then,
Moses, Miss Moses, your child really needs help. If you can't do it, look at a number that you can give your call. I'm gonna call you next week to see what happened. Like, like some teachers really, and this is why teachers' job is like
Very
24/7 and
important.
very important. Yes, I tell my parents, like, after 5 o'clock, I'm not available. That is such a lie. They text me at 9 o'clock. They give me a 10:45 call. I'm so sorry, Miss Spencer. Like, and I take those calls and I'm like, don't say sorry, because if I'm available, I'm a mother too. Like, I'm like, you're not calling me to say, hey girl, you calling me because it has something to do with our child. Like, that student is now my child too. So like I totally go against my whole rule that I set out in first year. Like, I have a life too. So after 5, don't call me. Yeah, right. Because after 5, that's when they get off of work. They get home and they start doing their homework with their child
I
after
agree.
6 and stuff. So who am I to say, well, Miss Moses texting me, like she gonna have to wait till tomorrow. No, like, and a lot of
A lot of
teachers'
teachers do
mentality
that.
is just like that, and that's where it breaks short. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I just believe, like, if you're a teacher, if you can be there, it comes with a lot. Teachers come with so much, like, what is it, work and thing, but you gotta feel like, I don't be like, oh my goodness, I have to text this parent. Like, no, this is something that I love to do. This is why I'm in the what is it, in the education field or whatever. And like, I'm there to be, like, I told my parents at the beginning of the year, this is our child and we will work together to get our child where they need to be by the end of the year. Not just me, not just you. Now, if I see that your child is struggling, I'm going to reach out to you or whatever. If you feel like your child is struggling when you get home, reach out to me. Like, and that's it. Like, you set that ground or whatever. Now, what they do with it after, that's on them. But then I'm still not gonna, oh, Miss Moses don't call me for her child and she see her child struggling. No, I'm still gonna call you. I'm still gonna do my job with you to make sure that we cover all ends. It's like some parents just needs that, just need, I'm speaking, some parents just need that, like, push and like that support, because maybe they don't have it around them. We're fortunate to have that around us, so we know A, B, C, D, E. Not all parents know this,
I'm sorry, they be on Facebook and stuff. A lot of people.
but we could scroll right past stuff like that. I scroll right past a lot of things.
A lot
So
of people be on Facebook.
those parents like that, what do you think stops them from being like, you know what, let me just ask? Because I didn't know everything also. Like,
Because they don't want to feel like,
They're dumb.
yeah, basically, that's
please,
a good way of
can
putting
y'all
it.
stop? Y'all stop doing that, please, please ask for help. Please ask for help.
I don't
If you
ask for, and then sometimes you don't like to hear, like, sometimes the truth, or what may seem like the truth about your child. So it's like, I'm
Yeah,
not
I
gonna
get
tell
it.
you
Sometimes you
anything
have to
about
get
my-
over that.
my
I had to
son.
get over that too. I had to get over that when I knew that, twin
I'm
one
not
needed
over it. I don't like when y'all.
needed some therapy.
Don't talk
How
about
you think
my
I felt? I
son.
felt terrible. Do you know what it's like? Everyone's just like this in the room, and you're just like, okay, so he needs a little help. All right, but you know what? I had to swallow that
Right.
and find some place for him to be. And now the boy's in college. Hello.
Doing very well at that. He graduated.
Well, not
Very high.
everyone is gonna be able to sit through that.
Sit, swallow. Let me tell
Swallow
you something.
their pride.
Yeah,
whatever
but
that-
as
because,
parents, I think a
I
lot
don't
of us
like
have
that.
to start doing that. Like,
Right,
I
we
think
gotta
that's a
swallow
big
it.
thing. Yes.
Why?
Okay, but
what?
that's
Again, we're
well. Then
doing our
they
children
need
a
to
disservice.
they need
If
to
we
tell us
cannot
that.
take-
They need to tell us at the hospital when we deliver, like when they give us all those papers to sign. Like, they need to add that in there, because I don't like hearing a lot of stuff about my.
You don't. But
My
guess
child
what?
either.
Get it together. Because at the end of the day, if it's something really wrong, you need to hear it. Then you need to be like, all right, you know what? I didn't like it, but I have to get my son some help. You
Yep.
understand? I have to make sure that he's going to be able to function in this crazy world and, function properly or whatever the case might be. That's it. That's all. It's not like somebody's telling you, well, in teacher's case, we're telling you something that's going to help him academically. If somebody coming to tell you, oh, well, he runs all over the place, that's nonsense. You don't care. Who cares about that? But if somebody's telling you something academically or something that they need occupational therapy, they might need a little speech. You're supposed to take that on because it only gets worse. And you going to let him get to junior high so them kids could pick on him? Oh, no, sir. Let me know when they're young. And I tell, like, because we have the daycare, and that's why I try to prevent from a lot of parents. If you notice it fast, let's get them help right away. Because why are you gonna wait till they're 5 in regular school?
Because sometimes it's like, oh, just give them some time. Like,
What
if you come to me and
time?
say, oh, yeah, like, I think, Timothy got a little speech problem. What I tell you, I think Kamai got a speech problem.
She's so
You
defensive.
give him some time. He's not of age yet. He might be like 10, 11. He's not of age. He's going to get his speech together.
No, but
So,
be serious though. Be serious.
yeah, be safe, but a lot of, you can't
You know, a
face
lot of
the-
parents, yeah, a
you
lot of
can't
parents, you
face
notice
that.
it.
That's just the
Yeah.
truth.
I have a lot of parents, and I'm just like, denial at this best. But I wish there was something we could just be like, it's okay. You
Mommy
can ask
crew,
for
come
help.
to the mommy crew.
Like,
We on
it's
Facebook.
okay. But
Join.
I get it too on the other side, because sometimes when you go to, I remember years ago when the kids were little, I went to welfare. Girl, they dragged me in welfare. I was so like, the lady made me feel so terrible. Mind you, now it's just, I just needed it for 6 months because I couldn't go back to work yet because I just had the twins and they didn't clear me to go back to work. And the lady, when I tell you, she made me feel terrible.
See?
So I get it.
You're too old to honor. But anyway.
No, but some
right.
people are
That's
like
how
that. But it's
people
not.
are.
Think about if you're going into a school. Not all schools are nice. That's why I tell people research your child's school.
That's
Research your child's school, because some teachers are in it for the wrong reason. They in it
Teachers,
because
leaders.
the teachers, leaders, even sometimes the school secretary, parent corner, in it for the wrong reason. Oh, they just in the DOE, they get some decent benefits, and they could get top pay after 5 years or whatever. You have to research your child's school, because you want to be able to go into a school and feel comfortable saying, hey, listen, we're going through some issues right now at home. You may see some changes, if anything, do you have any resources for me? Things like that. So that's another big
Right.
reason too, that I get it why some parents just be like, let me just be quiet.
Yeah, exactly.
And
That's
then
why I
maybe
said
they're afraid, like, of ACS, because I know a lot of parents, they feel like when you come to them, they be like, they don't want like no issues, no cases and stuff like that. So, but they just be making it worse, because then you're gonna have to call, because it's like, are you neglecting that your child needs? I don't know. It's weird, and I get it.
Yeah, and
But I'd rather,
with this
for
day
me,
and
I'd
age
rather
now,
feel
with
guilty
this day and age
than
now,
I'm helping
everything.
my child
But this day and age now, everything is a
is a
It's a
no,
case.
right? Everything is a case,
everything's a case. So you don't even know what to tell your child teacher. Sometimes it's like,
right? Like, look,
my child's been missing homework for the week. Crap, it's okay. Like it's just like, what are they gonna know? What they're not gonna know? How they gonna take what I'm saying? Next, I get, hi, we're just checking up on your child's well-being. Like, why missed homework for a week? What y'all wrote in that letter? Like,
right?
I
I get it. I get it. I get it. For me, I just rather feel guilty about what you said to help my child. Look, I need help. I need help.
We just have to norm that in the world
Right.
Right.
that we're
And-
living in
right. But
as
I think,
we keep going further.
I think it's so hard because people, for whatever reason, they live on this, like, oh, this will never happen to me. Those type of people. And then that continues on, like, oh, this will never happen to me. I always say, you one phone call away from being homeless. I always say that. You know how I feel inside.
No, and I think also like now too, they need to like really lower the class sizes, because these children don't learn in
Big
big
groups,
groups
because
anymore. Like
I don't
feel like
understand
it's getting
why one class is 35 kids. Why?
Yeah,
How am I
like-
Stop talking
managing
about my
that?
school.
no,
I'm
it's like
just
a lot. That's like
That's
the norm.
majority,
right.
yes.
That's norm. But I don't care if it's 2-3 teachers in there. It's just the amount of kids in the class at one time. I think like, it's not just the kids that need help. It should be the 12-1 and everything. That should be like the normal size in class, so that each child can really benefit from the learning.
Right.
I
Well,
don't know what buildings
if your
we're opening.
school has the proper resources, and if you're a teacher like us, and you notice something, oh, I'm gonna get you into the, we have specialists. I don't know if every school has specialists, but we have specialists in the school, reading specialists, math, whatever. So, like, I noticed a child that's in my class, and she's really having a hard time. And to me, I used to always want to be like Captain Save the World, because I'm gonna be this teacher that's gonna get everybody. And I realized that I cannot do that with this little girl. And I can't, and it frustrates me every day because when I'm looking at her work, I have to pass her because I got to make sure that everybody else
That's what
have
I
it.
said. That's what I
right?
said. Like,
So what my solution was, I got to call in help. I got to call in. Even teachers got to ask for help. You understand? We playing parent too, but we got to ask for help too. It's like I have no clue how to get her where we are. It's like I'm gonna have to go back, and then so I'm calling in for help. I'm calling the leaders. I'm calling the specialists. Let's we're gonna do our own evaluation, and then let's talk to mom, because at the end of the day, guess what? And that's my point. The parents have to say they want their child to
Yeah.
get the help.
Yep.
Right? So I could be worried all day about little Kayla. I could be worried all day, like, oh my gosh, she's not gonna get it. But if mom or dad does not care and they like, no, let her go on. That like
then
makes
then
me,
that
that defeats my
that
purpose.
yeah, that
Like
defeats
it's like, damn.
that defeats your purpose. But then that also, well, me as a teacher, makes me go like harder in the hours I do have this child to at least get them
Try,
like it's
right,
not
to try
gonna be like
something.
if they're supposed to, if they're here and they're supposed to reach here, if I can get them here, I'm sad. Like,
That's
just that
what I'm
little growth.
thinking too.
So like not
But
all, what I'm saying, because like you said, when they're young, when they're a child, whatever, the parents have to agree to everything or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So you have, like, one thing you have to know as a teacher is that you're not gonna
save everybody.
save everyone. That's one. So you cannot stress yourself out, because you're gonna stress yourself out where you're not even gonna be able to save your whole class. Like, you know what I'm
Right.
saying?
You're gonna
So
burn
you
out.
can't, exactly, you can't save everyone. And two, you just gotta do what you can do. Any little improvement,
Progress,
progress
right.
is okay. If in the beginning they're supposed to write the whole alphabet by the end of the year, but by the end of the year they write an A, whoa, we did something. We did
Right.
something. You know what I'm saying? Like, I did something, because only place that you're getting this attention and support is between 7 and 4 or whatever. So when you get home, do what you gotta do. But you're coming to school the next day. You're there. I'm gonna have to work with you, like,
But in the back of my head too, and I agree with you. Like that's just
as you
our job
should.
as a teacher.
As you should.
Right.
Whatever
no,
I
no.
say should be.
No, whatever. I feel like what I don't want this to sound bad. Why should I care more than you about your child?
I say it all the time.
I get it.
Why
but
should
then,
I kill myself to get your child to write A and you do not care?
I definitely,
You know what I'm saying?
definitely
No,
I
get
have
that.
30 children in my class that we have highs, we have mediums, we have lows, and some of the parents is just like, yes, Miss Parker, I got him to do. They're and then this is one parent that just doesn't care. Why am I caring more? Why am I gonna go hard, like you said, to get her there, and you don't care? Like, so what? Where am I at that point? I'm not saying I'm gonna just totally ignore her. We're gonna try to do something. It's a whole year of whole 10 months of school, but then it make me feel like I'm always gonna feel like I need to get everybody. That's just not gonna go away. But then you'd be like, I'm killing myself every day. I have dreams about this student. Like, okay, tomorrow I'm gonna do something to make her feel really good. That da da da. And I'm thinking about this every day. And then I'm thinking of two. Dang, where her mother at? Where's her mama? Where's her dad? Where's grandma? I don't care who it is. Where's the guardian? Because at this point, and then we don't even have, anyway, that's another story, because the communication is like through big sister, and I get it. Maybe you're working all the time. Somebody got to step in though. Somebody has to step in.
That, but it
I
has to
get-
be. It has to be somebody that they should be able to call for this little girl, even if you're working all the time. It has to
Right.
be. It has to be.
And then I get it. People like to. I know in the West Indian culture, like they have children and they work all the time, and they pay no attention to them. I've known a couple of situations like
You
that.
trying to sell my business on here?
No, no,
Oh,
it's
okay,
not
that ain't-
necessarily
it ain't-
you, because
Not necessarily, you trying to
no,
say
but
it's
you
me.
have backup. You understand?
Oh,
what I'm
so
saying?
you're trying to say that I slack off in my parenting job?
Sometimes.
This is a whole nother.
I know, right? It's the whole other podcast. No, it's not you, because you do what you do what you can. Again, you have support.
I'm feeling attacked.
You have support,
Right. That's a big thing.
Okay.
So not everyone has that.
right?
So it's kind of like, again, it has to be on the individual to be comfortable enough to lean in for the
And
support
say-
and just say, hey, listen, I know you've been talking to her sister, but that's because this is what's happening, and I'm gonna try my best, or something. What can I do? I don't know. Some people,
We have their children more than them, right? You got to let us know something because obviously home affects too how they perform in school. Let us know something. I know people don't
but
like,
they're
I'm not telling
afraid.
my business.
Yeah, they're
And da, da,
afraid.
da.
You gotta think about it in that sense. They're afraid. Think about people who are really really alone. Sometimes they probably gotta leave the kids alone, knowing that's not the age they're supposed to leave those kids alone, right? So if I'm telling you, like, listen, this is what's happening, I'm leaving this child alone. Technically, you're a mandated reporter. You're supposed to report me. So that's a whole nother thing. You get what I'm saying? So it's like so many
Things, and it's so many
in line. Like
situations.
we have no idea, especially when you have 30 kids.
You don't know
So
what
I've
these
met
parents are
3-year-olds
going through.
I met a 3-year-old who lived on the street, like on the street corner, for the first 2 whole years of her life with her mother. She lived on the street, not homeless in a homeless shelter, on the street. Okay, and when she came to us, all she knew was curse words. That's it. She knew nothing else but curse words. Everything. I was a B every day. Good morning, B. Every time she walked past the office. Good morning, B.
I want to be her. No, I'm just feeling.
But
No,
in-
starts with a B.
you know what I mean? Like those certain, like those
Right.
are circumstances. So that was her foundation. So then we had to work hard. Think. So as she started saying and started coming in saying, "Good morning, Miss Moses." Oh, shoot. Here, girl. Hey, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Like you get excited because you're starting to learn those things. But if her mother would have came to us and said, "Oh, by the way, she live on the street," I would have no other option but to call an ACS. And ACS don't always make the decision of going with the family either. Sometimes they don't overlook the family and go, now your child's with a stranger. So it's hard. It's really, really hard.
Then is that like so bad? I mean, not that, but if a 2-year-old's on the street, they need to be in a home. I'm sorry, I'm not against that. I'm not against that. Obviously, mom, you need help, extra help that you're not admitting to that you have your baby in the street. Yeah, ACS got to step in.
Right.
ACS has to step in. I don't care. There's people that try to save these moms that, oh no, we don't want to take them away from their mother. They live on the street. We got to take. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're helping me too, because now I have time to get myself together. Because you ain't taking baby to your interviews, are you? Oh, you taking her to a job interview? You need some time to get a job.
the baby was in school.
Well, after 2 years,
Yeah.
after 2
A
years,
family member finally tracked them down and was able to took her. So she went through ACS to take her that way. But
See, so ACS is not always a bad thing. I know we have a situation. I know a situation where I know the mom, and they keep protecting this mother, and he need to be taken away. Let her get her stuff together. Maybe yes, her family, or maybe they need a good. I mean, all foster homes are not good homes. I get
Right.
it, but they need to be in a home. I'm sorry, I don't.
That's
I don't
true.
know.
That's true when it comes
That's
to
an
that.
extreme circumstance with that child living on the street. Yeah, I'm calling ACS. I don't care how nice you are, mom. You need help.
Was the mom active?
no.
Oh, that would have been double time. Yeah, she was. Yeah, as soon as she left, I'd have been
Yeah,
like,
no. Once they took her, she went her own way.
oh, she never checked up on the baby. You see, somebody should have called on her. Well, obviously they did.
Yeah, they just couldn't find her. So finally the family was just like, you know what, let me start searching myself. So they searched.
But with the
Found
extreme circumstances, maybe mom is getting beat at home. You need to let us know. We need to protect you. We need to help you, mom. Because what you're doing at home is affecting your child's education. I'm sorry. You embarrassed. You don't want ACS to come to your house. Why? You're getting beat in front of your daughter, in front of your son. Yeah, you need help. I'm sorry. I thought that's a little harsh. I can't sympathize with things like that.
I know
If
who
you
not
need
to go
help,
to when I get
No.
hit. I'm playing.
you don't wish that on yourself, but
No,
it's
but
harsh.
It's harsh.
It is, but
it's the reality, and I just feel like we have to normalize. Like I remember when y'all first met me, I never used to ask for help. I used to be suffering in silence. But then I realized
Why?
that's not gonna because but you know, again, that also just come back from when you ask for help and then you get the judgment, then it gets thrown in your face. So I get it for some people. But
That's
then
what I'm saying.
once I found people that I can rely on and trust, it became a little easier to do it. But you know,
And sometimes people don't find that.
right.
Like I got parents from 2 years ago,
Still
my
hitting you
cohort
up.
2 years ago, still hitting me up. Like, you see my baby like in third grade. Like, yeah, I'm watching. Like, how my baby doing? I was like, as well, I'm not their teacher, but I
Right.
definitely got you.
But you got
Sneak into the
them to
class,
feel that
You know what I'm
comfortable,
saying?
right.
Like, and I'm there. Because,
Right.
like I said, that's our child until you X out my life. Like, I'm still in yours because I feel like those are like literally my babies. It's like it's crazy. So I'm gonna help them no matter what as a teacher. And if all teachers thought in that positive, we're gonna do this way, it won't be that hard for like, and then building that, forcing and building that bond and communication with the parents or caretaker or whatever of the students. Like, I think
We will
that
see such a shift.
it
We
was
would
it
definitely,
will be a
but
shift.
let's talk what it is. People coming out of college and teaching pays you very well in some school, in some cities, in some boroughs, whatever. And yeah, I'm gonna take a teaching job because it's gonna pay.
Right.
Not
They don't
necessarily
care.
that I want to be a teacher.
Right. And they may not
But-
care. And then they may
right.
not also have the same compassion that we all have because we're parents.
Exactly.
Right.
I always
So-
say that. I always tell my parents. I always say that. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm a parent first.
Right.
So I'm gonna treat your child like I treat my own, how I want
Mine
own
to
to
be
be
treated,
mine to be
correct.
treated. I'm that parent who gives my children's teachers phone calls and texts at whatever, Saturday, Sunday, or whatever, like off hours. I'm sorry, but X, Y, and Z or whatever. So I expect that from, like, that's how I know you care.
Right.
That's how I know you care. Like, I have a child now where in 3 weeks in, like, she literally sits in class and doesn't do anything. To me, I was like, oh gosh, they never been in school. She don't know anything. She go home and she busts out that homework when we learn in class. She shows that at home. Pa, 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 pa. And I'm like, I'm looking at homework like, she didn't do this because she don't even do anything in class. She don't even write her name. Everything is blank. I spoke, now, I don't care. We're not far into the school year, but I'm noticing this big in the beginning. Let me text
Speak to
mom,
right.
and see, is this normal? How can I help your child, learn in class? Because I don't want to go through the year and then she's really lost. She's like, what? She does what? Man, I got so many videos last weekend of her doing her work, like really good, like marking up everything. I'm like, she's one of like the smartest kids in the class and she does not show it in class. And it's like, see, okay, mom, all right, what we gonna do? And then she's like, all right, I'm gonna send her with this thing, and this is what she likes to use at home when she's doing her work. She likes to like race against the clock. I'm gonna send her a little timer. Is it okay if you bring it? Psst. You helping me help her? Bring it. I'll let her
Right.
keep it on her desk. Let's go. Remember, look at that timer. You have to beat that timer, do your work or whatever. Just something. I don't care. I work with you as long as it's not gonna be no big music distracting to the class. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, let me see if this is gonna work. Like, what is she gonna be comfortable doing in class that she does at home that, I would never believe that she knew the work. Never, if I didn't get those videos.
So that's teacher Mika. Mommy Mika, what do you do when it's your child and the teacher comes to you and says, well, Timothy's having an issue?
Well, mommy Mika, like honestly, mommy Mika would be like, okay, what is he having an issue in? All right, like if I pick up Timothy, like, okay, what did y'all, if it's not clear to me what y'all worked on in class, like, what did he struggle with in class? Oh, the long A sound. Okay, those words. Got you. And I'm gonna go home.
I know.
And I'm gonna do
so
what I
why are
gotta
you
do.
saying that you're
Because-
working and that's
because
bull.
I know situations like that. So and I kind of understand.
But
it.
you have to,
I
even if you
understand
work
it. I
you
was
work
remote.
full time. You
I
work
was
full time right
remote.
now, right?
I was remote.
Okay.
I was remote teaching Timothy on his little iPad, learning. Amira's in her room learning, falling asleep. He's playing with all his toys in the screen. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm doing my job where I get paid for. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I have 30 kids in a Zoom screen teaching. They're getting lost in the sauce. I can't help that. I can't.
What do you do after you click offline?
You trying to tell my business? I watch SVU.
No.
No, like I need that
just
brain.
saying,
All right, look,
okay.
okay, I need that brain.
You
breather,
know
right?
that he hasn't. We're going into this school year. You still have a full-time job, and now you're going in. It's more work. You stand on your feet all day. Yes, you're tired. You pick up Timothy, and they say he's having issues with the long A sound.
No, I gotta
You're
struggle
going
through.
home.
Like I'm that mother. Like we gonna work
Okay.
through this. I know
That
I'm
should be
that
every.
mother.
To me, that should be every mom.
But that's
yes, we're
not.
tired. Yes, we are tired. But if I have to help him, or big sister, he's having trouble with the long A. If she cannot do it, somebody else got to do it. If the neighbor upstairs, somebody some.
Yeah,
There's
but
one
not
person out of a whole
not
group
everyone
that you
has
know.
that support though, and I know this. You know what I'm saying? And even speaking to my scholars' parents, like I know not everyone has that that support system. Like, and it's the reality. They don't have it, and they confided me like, listen, it's just me and my 5 kids or whatever. You like sometimes you might see me because I'm in school myself and I work. So my oldest daughter might pick up my daughter, whatever. So she's the one that's at home with her, whatever. And I try to be there and do the homework when I get home. But you know, it's just them in that circle. They don't have like she don't have neighbor I could trust, upstairs I could trust. She don't have auntie. I mean, she don't have anyone else. It's just them. What do you do then? She's communicating with me. It's not like I could take. I don't have like I can't take her child home with me and say, okay, I got it tonight. I'm gonna do her homework. I'm gonna make sure she learn. I only could do but so much on my case. But she's communicating with me of what's going on. Like, you know what I'm saying? So what do you do then? It's not the mother's trying, clearly trying, and the daughter's still not, where she needs to be. But she's in a situation. She's really trying. She has a lot of kids. Like she's in school trying to better herself and she's working to keep a roof over her head. What do you do then? You can't, who you blame?
Mom.
No, you don't. Come on. No, you don't. No, you
You can't
don't.
blame anybody. But the plus with her is that she's trying. There's parents who don't really try.
Exactly. So that's why I said that's why I said
so. There are those parents I don't mind.
That's what I'm saying. There
really
are parents who are trying
right.
that child is still not where you think they should be.
For those
and then
parents,
you're gonna think
I would
like,
just
oh,
try
they're
to
not
find
learning anything at
different-
home. There's YouTube videos. Like, no, they're trying. Like they sit their child. Like I know this for sure. You know what I'm saying? And it's like everything's not clicking. And then they'll tell me like, what can I do? Da-da-da. Like they can get all like thing and yeah, I'm gonna give you this, and this. They do it or whatever. And so that's why I said it's not that. Oh, the students who you can tell the students da-da-da. No, because
But
I
you
would
can
think
tell the parents.
I would
the parents
think,
that's pushing their children.
I would think that child right there, mother is just like, because she's a sweet girl. She's a sweet, 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 sweet girl. But I would think if I did not know this, like if I didn't have that 2-hour beginning of the year conversation with the mom or whatever to know her story or whatever, I would have thought what you're thinking, like, oh, not involved. Oh my gosh, foundation. Da, da, da. But no, it's just different. So you cannot say that for everyone. That's why I have to play devil's advocate. I feel that. And then me, I mean,
90% of the people. There are special cases in everything.
I'm not that
There's
parent.
special education.
I'm not that parent, but sometimes I feel myself sinking in it. Like I know, like, but like you said, I have support. Not everyone has support, but I feel myself sinking like, oh my, it's stressful. Some of these kids don't listen. Not everybody has that. Not everybody has that scholar.
Don't drag my
scholar child. That's
no, you don't have to be. I don't want anybody to think that they has to be the scholar of the class.
I don't mean smart. I mean like that good child. Like, yeah, mommy, I'm gonna do my homework. 5 + 3, 8, 10, finish. Sign it. That easy going, whatever. You have that child that have you sitting at that kitchen table till 10 o'clock at night saying, write the letter B, erase it. Like, that's stressful on parents. And sometimes you might lose your mind. You know what? Close the book. You might go to school the next day with something not being done because it's either that or I would have been arrested. So, it's situations. You can't always teach your own child. That's what I don't want them to teach their own child.
I want them to See, in my circumstance, I'm seeing a
But
lot
it
of
should
people
be
that's
more
not no effort,
reinforcement,
right?
no?
I'm not
Not
seeing
as
people with
far as
effort.
teaching.
There shouldn't be. There's a kindergarten class online of 30, and 10 of them show up online. That's crazy to me.
That's
Crazy
crazy.
to
But
me.
then, devil's advocate, what happens to the other 20? Did you find out?
Oh, I know what happened to the other 20. Bobo's on the corner, and while his child's at home, like, yeah, my daddy, he woke up late,
Well,
so we didn't
I
get to
wouldn't
go
even.
online.
I wouldn't even bring that. That last year was a joke. It was a joke.
Right, and that's my point.
Last year was a
Last year
joke.
was a joke.
Let's X that out of every
Let's
child's life.
exit.
X it out.
But now, what are we doing going forward as parents first? Because the teachers, we have this big plan in our head. Okay, we know we got to go a year back. We got to get them up to speed. As parents, how do we help the teachers? Because that's what I think. It has to be both of us now.
You have to
It
have
has-
that
Open communication.
open communication. If you don't have the open communication with whoever takes care of this child, then it's just not going to be where you want it to be. And at least you have that in your head from like the beginning. So you know that you're alone in teaching this child. So whatever you teach your child in class, you know not to go like, all right, I'm gonna give this to you do for homework. You can do that so that maybe the child can get independent. Like, if nobody's helping them, but you know that okay, this child might not come with this paper tomorrow or whatever. But I'm teaching this child on my own because grandma, whatever, is just not like you have that in the beginning.
Right,
It
and
was
that's
not
what I
just
feel
it's
too,
not that
as
stressful.
well as a teacher, like I'm kind of trying to teach them to do it independently because of situations like you mentioned. Because it's like you don't gotta wait on mommy to do this. You know how to do this. When you get home, this is what you're gonna do. You understand? So I'm
Then you
trying
give
to
like
teach
your
them
little
that.
incentives in
Right.
class. Like if everyone comes with this done, so when they get home, like no, ma, I
have
want
to
that.
do it.
I want that whistle, so I gotta, Oh, shit, I left my whistle. I want that whistle, so I need to do this. Get the mother. It's just. Like you said, there are programs like there's nights where like curriculum nights in some schools where you come in or whatever. So a lot of parents might not be able to do it because they're working 2-3 jobs. There's a lot of situations and stuff. So it's just that how do we help? We in the beginning of the year, you build that partnership with the parent. You see what's there, what's not there. You keep it going. You just don't call in September and then you don't call again until report card. No, you keep that communication going. Like I send my parents pictures of their child learning every day. Like, there you go. Like, what he did. No, nothing. I was just showing you he doing his work. Like, that's what the picture's for, Not every text and phone call gotta be a
Negative.
Right,
a negative phone
thing.
call.
That's
It's
what
like,
you're right.
oh shoot. I said like if a child stands up and answers a question, I video them on the low, send it to the parent, like what he just said, yeah. Like what I'm saying? Like that keeps them involved. Like you gotta do things like that as a teacher. You have to because it makes the parent feel like, oh shoot, and then get happy and they show they little, oh, look what Kiki did this week. You know what I'm saying? Like something like that. Like you have to love teaching in order to teach. I'm tired of seeing teachers in the classroom that you can tell they don't want to be there, or you can tell this just not them. Like you don't care for this child. You don't
And
care.
if you are older, retire, please. Retire.
'Cause
No,
these
there's
children
a-
have
I
a-
don't care. No, I
there's
don't
a lot
They
care.
got a bag of energy that
No,
these older
not
folks are
not only
with it.
that, but
okay,
I
what do you
also-
call older? Because there's a lot of nice
No.
We calling you.
No,
old.
no, no.
What I'm
because-
saying is, a lot of the older teachers, especially in the DOE, you guys are in charter, but well, she had both. But especially in the DOEs, a lot of older teachers who I don't want to learn anything new. They're just stuck in the one way. We
call them vet teachers, right?
Right.
So those vet teachers are the teachers you don't really want to get paired with, and they are the ones who are. Our curriculum changes every year. Get with it. Because it's new things all the time. But you still don't want to use the Polythium board. You want to write on the board with chalk? No, sis. No. Come on.
retire.
Like,
They gave the
let's-
early retirement
Right.
thing. Do it.
Let's get it together.
Because honestly, the longer you teach, the more you get burned out. The older you get, the less patience you have. And
That's
let's be
true.
real, then you don't have that same oomph that you had when you came in there
Uh-huh.
20 years ago.
You're right.
Which is fine. No one's saying, even if you want to write out your thing, you go to your principal and say, hey, is there something out of the classroom I can do, a little something less stressful that I can do? Because the kids need people who care. Is a lot of people in these schools principals, assistant principals, also that do not care. So my advice, parents, research your school, be as involved as possible as you can be. I made myself the vice president of PTA. They did not have that role, but I went in there and I said, why they can't have it? Why can't they? Why can't they only have just the president? Why they can't have a VP in case he's not available? And everybody was like, you know what? You're right. Now I'm the VP of my daughter's school.
That works. I'm not, and then I want to say this. It's just not all on teachers or all on parents. Like you said, we got to work together. And yes, we have issues as teachers inside the school as well. So we know that, we have some that don't care. We have some moms and situations that, okay, we have no control of. My point is the concern for the children, and from what I was seeing this year, coming in this year, and even last year, because most schools went hybrid, right? We just took this as a joke, and it was just so like crazy that
Not
I'm
even
like,
as a joke. It was a year off. It was relaxation, and
and now guess what? We're feeling it.
We're feeling
badly.
it, but we're feeling it all over. Whereas in your child, it's not like child didn't get left back. It's just that now the grade that everybody's going to, the curriculum itself just had to roll back. Like,
Right.
if you're in first grade, you're learning kindergarten, pre-K stuff or whatever, because that's just what it is now. So at least everything had to roll back. At least that was like a global whatever, that whole wide world change rather than just your household change, and now your child is the year back.
Right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying? So that's a good thing, because last year was literally a waste and a joke, because not only were the students struggling, so were the teachers. So it was new to everyone. And even going into this year, how we're dealing with things and the social distance, how we have to learn and talk and mask over the face, how you teach them sounds of letters and they don't even know how your mouth is moving. Like, everything is just brand new in general. So it's just like stressful as a whole. Like, everything is new and everything is stressful, but you just got to be in it to win it and like keep it moving. Like, I pull out my math beats and
Yep.
say do the lips and then put it back up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yep,
you got to
definitely.
do it. And I'm like, oh no, you got to do it behind the mask. They got, like, how? I can't hear you. What? Huh? Like,
That's
you
what
know what I'm
that's
saying?
what you hear all day, huh? Excuse me. Speak louder. You have the mask on. You got to speak louder. So it is really
It's
hard.
so hard
It's
and
actually
different.
too. We're not taking consideration. It's stressful on the child as well. We
Itself,
are mentally drained. The parents are mentally drained. The children are drained. So we need support for them. Period. Mental health is so important right now, because it's like they don't want to be there. They were so used to being
Home. Yep.
they don't want to be there. They were so used to being home. So it's like,
That's
okay,
why
how can
SEL
we
is
make
important.
how
Social
can we
emotional
make
learning.
right? How can we
'Cause
make this fun? How can we want them to come to school and
Right.
actually do something? So that's my goal. I have to act like a goofball every day.
we're
And what's
entering a
so
whole
crazy,
new
I know.
world
Wait,
of
and so
learning.
crazy about the mask that you mentioned. I pulled out my mask. I don't know, maybe it was the first time to them. And they all were they were like, we see your face. I'm like, what? We see what you look like, your face. And I'm like, why y'all saying? And I realized that I never really took off my mask in front of them. So when they saw my face, they were just like, oh, look at Miss Parchment, look at Miss Parchment. And I'm like, oh, right. I see them because they take down for lunch, but they never really see me because I go out of the classroom. So I'm like, oh, they don't even know how I look. That's so sad.
Right.
No,
That's
but we're
so
entering
crazy.
a whole new world. And when it comes to parenting and education, it's a whole different ball game. We can't really talk about what we did in the
That's true.
past. We have to talk about what we're going to do in the
The
future.
future. And with that said, that was a great thing to end it off
Oh,
with.
thank you.
That was
See?
cute.
Oh
That
my
was
Look,
thank
very
you.
sometimes
good.
she useful sometimes.
She
You could probably
is.
come back for episode 6.
Right.
I don't want to.
Thank you, everyone. And I hope that you got something out this conversation. And even if you want to talk about it more, go to Mommy Crew on Facebook. Join us. Bring it up. It's something we can talk about together. Until next time.
Bye, guys.